Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have an exciting announcement to make, first of all, and second of all, related to that announcement, I have a video that I wanted to do about using ChatGPT as an author. But before we get to that, I wanted to announce the news first, because currently I am writing my first book. One that I hope will be the first of many to come, but the first in any case. The book will be about sales and marketing. I won't get too much into the details because it's in such a preliminary stage still, but however, I'm writing a book. It'll be out in the fall of 24. I hope that's the target anyways, and more details are to come later. But related to that, I wanted to make a video about using ChatGPT because that's something that, people are debating whether authors will be a thing ever again, whether every creative person will be replaced by AI. And my argument is that no, they won't. There are many reasons for this, some neuropsychological, some philosophical, some just purely logical. I won't get into those, but I definitely do not believe that creatives will be replaced by AI. Rather, the creatives who learn to use AI will be supplemented by it and benefit from it. So today I wanted to share from a non-fiction author's perspective, an author-to-be's perspective, to be specific, on how I use ChatGPT. And I have 5 distinct ways that I use the platform, which I have in my notebook here. So the first, and this is the real groundbreaking problem that ChatGPT solves for authors, and it's the problem of the blank page. Nobody will ever again have to look at the blank page and not know what to write. As long as you have a topic, you can ask ChatGPT about subtopics related to that topic that you could write about. You could ask about associated topics. You could ask about critique, which you can then critique the critique. So there are lots of different ways that ChatGPT solves the problem of the blank page. And that's, I think, the first and the most significant problem that ChatGPT solves for authors and creatives alike. So that's the first and the most groundbreaking, and I think, frankly, the most obvious way to use ChatGPT. But there are dangers associated with it. You shouldn't, for example, rely on ChatGPT to write a paragraph. There are many reasons for this. One of them is that Legal, the famous lawyer/YouTuber, created a video about lawyers who used ChatGPT to create the documents for the court. And ChatGPT actually made up different cases, which they proceeded not to look up, and therefore they sent unlawful, unexisting cases to the judge, which was a huge mistake on their part. So, that's the first reason why you shouldn't use ChatGPT for actually writing chapters. There are many of them, but you can certainly solve the problem of the blank page by asking it for associated topics, for subtopics, for chapter structures, which you can then modify, etc. The second interesting way, and something that not many people may have thought about, is using ChatGPT for critiquing the work that you've created. So since ChatGPT thinks very logically, it thinks in a very non-human like way, which is beneficial because it's able to analyze the level of logic, for example, in an argument, and it's able to tell you whether or not you've taken all necessary perspectives into account in a specific paragraph, for example. So if I'm feeling a little shaky on some paragraph, for example, I can copy it, paste it to ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT to critique it and to see if I've accounted for all views equally, for example, to see if I've been beneficial enough for all parties, for example, in a debate, etc. So ChatGPT is very good at that kind of work. And one disclaimer I wanted to make related to that is that the quality of the ChatGPT responses is sometimes analyzed manually by employees of OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT. So some people actually may be able to view the chat threads that you go through with ChatGPT. So the level of privacy that you should have in mind is that if you wouldn't leave that note on an open coffee table, for example, in a cafe, then you shouldn't put it to ChatGPT. But with books, if you take just one paragraph related to one topic, at least for me, it isn't a problem privacy-wise. But if it is for you, it's important to keep that concern in mind. The third idea relates to structure. So sometimes when I'm writing a chapter, I might get into a pinch with things not seeming to be in logical order, but not being able to pinpoint where exactly the logical fault may be. So in that case, ChatGPT is really good at taking you sort of to a higher level, to a wider perspective, and also introducing some other ideas. So I might, if I don't feel that a chapter is structured logically, I might just write as a prompt for ChatGPT to criticize the structure of one chapter, for example, on the title level, and then ask for revisions or for other ideas or for critique as to where this is illogical, etc. So with that kind of restructuring, ChatGPT is a great tool. And now for the fourth point, which is to create graphs. ChatGPT 4 has the plugins mode, which has plugins for creating different graphs. So something that I might do is I might have an idea for a topic that could benefit from a visual aid, but I perhaps have no idea how to visually represent the idea. So I might essentially tell the gist of the idea to ChatGPT and ask it for different ideas on how to visualize this idea to make it more easily comprehended. And for that, ChatGPT has lots of different plugins, and it's able to actually create drafts of the graphs as well. A graph draft, that's a tongue twister. But any case, so that's something that's been surprisingly useful. And it also, the benefit there tends to be that, at least for me, when I try to visualize different concepts, I tend to overcomplicate things. So it's able to, again, take a fresh perspective and analyze the idea on a very logical level and provide, for example, a Venn diagram as a visualization, or a mind map, or a process graph, or whatever it might be. So that's something that's very beneficial. And then for the last and probably the most dangerous way to use ChatGPT, and that is to do research. Now, be very, very vigilant about this. There are plugins such as Wolfram Alpha on ChatGPT that are able to help with medical topics, for example, or with maths or physics issues. There are plugins that are able to search scholarly databases for different research and stuff like that, and provide links to that research. So be very careful, but you can ask ChatGPT to find scientific research, for example, pertaining to different topics and stuff like that. But this is something that you should be very, very careful with. Everything that ChatGPT spits out has to be extremely carefully reviewed and confirmed real, so that you don't end up in a bundle. But in any case, those are the 5 different ways that I like to use ChatGPT when writing my first book. Again, my book will be out by fall of 24, hopefully. So if you want more news on that, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm sure to update you on that here, and also provide some tips and tricks that I'm gonna be learning on my journey as an author. There are lots of different things that I've learned so far that I wanna make videos about. This is the first, and I think the most interesting. And so anyways, stay tuned. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.